how to improve our mental health by going out in nature. Now, I could of course share scientific facts on what going out in nature can do for both our mental health, physical body, emotional well-being, and these things already exist. It already exists. Everything actually already exists. But perhaps what doesn't exist is the clarity for you on what to do next. What are the next step or your path in life? And what we are trying to do is like we are trying to adapt to that what already is. Our modern world. And how does modern society looks like? Is it healthy? Is it really supporting? If it's giving us a sense of safety, security to experience ourselves at a deeper level. In my experience, not really. I mean, at one spectrum, we see is that the corporations of the world, they are creating the technology that makes human labor obsolete. So those still having, let's say, a job in a company or something, I'm not saying everything is bad, but there's a level of demands, and if you do not like this demand or expectation, then yeah, you really should reconsider your position within the company. So you either get ashamed for thinking in the way you think or feeling in the way you feel, the stresses, the anxiety that you have to go through, and how things are currently affecting your mental health. So there's a lot of fear programs going on, and it's like you are getting ashamed for it. Like if you do not do what we expect you to do because we have this condition, you do this for us and we give you a salary in return. So it's not enslavement from the 17th century where nobody got paid, but now you get paid and you get ashamed for it. So this is of course affecting the health and well-being for many of us. So then you wonder, okay, so what kind of options do I have? Well, you can learn is that there's this online economy going on, like the world of the influencers and the digital marketers and building and social media following and whatnot. And the term being an influencer is a bit like, you know, exaggerated of what is it that influence us. What kind of examples do we have? What is the supply and demand in today's online digital economy? So you could question like, how healthy is that? I'm sure you can figure out like, how does it look like, so I don't have to repeat things for you. And then you wonder like, okay, so is this really the path that I want to follow? That's sure, it could potentially lead you to the fame, the recognition, wealth and abundance, but how beneficial is that really for your, let's say, mental health, emotional well-being, and perhaps spiritual evolution? So it's questionable. But then you want to build up, let's say, some sort of status or freedom, independence, safety, security, which of course is normal. It's what we must do in today's modern world. But what is the balance? What is the balance? And how can we bring it in harmony between being, doing, and having in order to do something and have something, going to a specific kind of destination that we think we must achieve in our life? We must learn ourselves the skill sets or driving skills to drive, let's say, a vehicle that can get us where we want to be. let it be in business, system and vehicle. But of course, in order to drive that vehicle, we also must fill our tank with petrol. Now, metaphorical speaking, because I talk of course like what it is that we put in our mind, in our body, in our spirit. So what's the balance? There must be a balance, and if we look to our modern world, it is safe to say is that many of us are suffering tremendously with the expectations and conditions from our modern world and what that does to our mental health. And what it does to our, let's say, for the mental health of many men. I mean, if you are just like an average Joe, an average person, just going by, maybe you all have a partnership, or maybe you have a partner, maybe you're married, or maybe not. And when you're single, I mean, if you're single and you're halfway down your 30s or even 40s, you must be thinking like there must be something really, really wrong with you. I mean, you're just an average Joe, and in order to get noticed, you gotta go and do extreme things for yourself. You gotta go and earn multiple 6 figures, 7 figures, so you can invite the opposite sex on yacht parties and whatnot. But how healthy is that? Or when you are, let's say, an average Joe and you have a relationship, I mean, how's the relationship affecting your mental health? Are you still satisfied and fulfilled? Are you still exploring new things, or everything has become mundane and that's just how it is? Because you could think like, hey, am I really that kind of man that is attractive on the markets in today's demand and supply? So there are many things that can affect our mental health. So whatever it is, let it be work, career, business, relationship, we must give ourselves a little bit more time to reflect on what's going on. Because your path, your story is unique to you. It hasn't been written. So we could of course seek for stories that has been already written and experienced and walked on by others. And we could try to do exactly what it is that others did, because they say success leaves clues. And we try to do it and it does not work for us, because we could think ourselves through something, but how does it make us feel? So the best indicator, the best GPS to improve any area of our life, including our mental health, is to get in touch with our inner GPS, our intuition. And nobody can give you advice on that, on how that has to look like for you. So therefore, like I always said, there are people who can say, you gotta go and get to the bloody gym. Good points. I say, go out and get out in nature. Because in nature, there are no conditions. There are no expectations. What we can find in nature are things that are very simple. A noise from a bird, an airplane in the sky. Or we can hear the noise from the trees dancing with the wind. All the things that we can observe is to become an observer. That's what we can practice here. Become an observer of our environments. We learn how to get into the helicopter view, into the visionary view. and look down at what we are playing, and don't take everything so seriously. This is for us the only way, basically, to get out of our heads and into our bodies through different activities, perhaps hiking. And we could do and practice different kind of mindfulness practices. All of it is helping us to get in touch with that inner GPS. Because once again, your path, your story has yet to be written by only you. And although if you think for yourself, or if you feel like, okay, I want to go into this direction, but I've got no idea how things are going to be turned out. I have no idea how that's going to give me financial security or independence and freedom, and how that is going to make me find my loved one or whatever. You know for yourself that when you are on the right path is when you don't have the answers. If you are on the path that has been given to you by outside sources, outside of yourself, like if you walk this path, if you do this, do that, then you will go and get there. You know you have already created conditions for yourself, already have created expectations for yourself. And this is how you disconnect yourself from your natural, true, authentic self. The true, authentic self that wants to give unconditionally from the heart, be of service. Because that's what we are here to bring. We all go through periods when nobody sees us, nobody recognizes us, and nobody pays us for what we do. And these can be of periods of quite some time. So what do we do? When nobody sees us, we are an invisible nobody. Nobody gives a shit. We do what feels right. We do what makes sense to us. We do that gives us joy and bliss and satisfaction in the here and now, the present moment. Because that's the only way forward to move through the darkness we are in, is to walk blindly on the path we have yet to be discovering for ourselves. That's the only light that we can find within ourselves that can cure anything else. And for that, my friends, you gotta go out in nature, allow yourself and give yourself some time to reflect and look down at what is. How can I adjust? How can I fine-tune? How can I improve? How can I do better? So all I can say, improve mental health by going out in nature, is simply go out in nature. Go and get out in nature.